Welcome back to the 31st day of Witchtober. It is the end. So this is the last of my random witchy topics that I probably could have organized in a better order. But you know what? Like, I just would get an idea, plop it on the calendar, and then here we are. We're at the end of these random ideas that I have been thinking of for the past several months that I wanted to talk about. Next month we go back to books. I've already got quite a few already scheduled. So yeah, let's talk about the 3 themes that I focus on for Samhain. If you don't know, typically for every single one of the Sabbats, I have found that there's generally 3 major themes to each one. I talk about it in my book. Oh yeah, shameless plugging. I wrote a book called Turning the Wheel. Talks about each of those themes, minus Yule, because I'm chaos and there's 13 different things you can do for Yule, because why not? So yeah, for Turning the Wheel, I have 3 different things, and for Samhain, I wanted to talk about these 3. It is the day of Samhain that you are seeing this. Happy Samhain, happy Halloween. Hopefully you are safe today and you get to celebrate and do all sorts of fun stuff, even if it's just sitting at home watching like a Halloween movie. If you haven't ever seen it, my go-to always favorite is When Good Ghouls Go Bad. It's one of my favorites for the year. Also, there's a lot of good ones. You know, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and Hocus Pocus, and you know, this is the night that I usually will watch Nightmare Before Christmas because it is usually my life. Halloween, a little bit of Christmas, back to Halloween. So anyways, hopefully you all are having a fun and safe holiday. Now on to the 3 themes. There are 3 that I feel like pretty much summarize what is Samhain and Halloween. The first one I talked about yesterday is fear. We tend to focus on what makes us afraid. And every year you can pick different things. This is where you can tailor your costumes and even your decoration too. If you have the funding and the space for things, decorate your yard with the things you fear. You can add little elements to it, you know, have a couple like fake spiders or fake snakes or a couple skulls or whatever, and then use them every year. Or if you did the ritual from yesterday and you did a reusable pumpkin, put it out every year to remind you. But you can also, you know, just have your whole yard themed. Some people are able to do that. I don't know how you can afford that, but be my guest if you wanted to. But basically focus on overcoming fear. That's one of the big things, is we find the things we desperately fear and then we overcome them this time of the year. The next one I've also talked about is ancestors. This is a really popular one for Samhain. We tend to focus on our beloved dead. So this is the time to visit family graves, to have an ancestor altar set up. If you don't have it all year round, set one up. You can also incorporate other things to it this time of the year. There are certain flowers, if you follow more of the Day of the Dead things, that you're supposed to add. I always forget it every single time. It's like the yellow flowers that are like a lot of like crinkly, crumply little flower leafy things. Anyways, usually like yellows and oranges are very popular to put on your altar, but to do a lot of ancestor work and to honor them, connect with them. Even if it's ancestors you don't know, you want to go further back from known history, that's cool too. They matter as well. Or if you want to work more general sense, you could work with the deities that are associated with the dead. Obviously my favorite is Hel, but you could also work with Morrigan, Odin, Freya. You could work with Osiris and Isis. And you could, I mean, there's a lot of different ones. I talk about them in my book, The Death Journey. I have them all listed, kinda. I'm sure there's more, honestly, that you could keep adding to that list, but pretty much all of them usually have at least a few, no matter your pantheon. Or you could just work on the Dark Goddess in general, if you want to do that. And then kind of, you know, lean into the death deities along with the ancestor work. And the last and kind of most, well, I don't know. I feel like they're all kind of popular in their own ways. The last one is the Witch's New Year. For a lot of witches, this is our new year. A lot of witches will celebrate with celebrations of like, hey, I'm gonna set my witchy New Year's resolutions, and you might start a new like study at this time of the year. I've done that a few times. Looking at you, Inner Temple of Witchcraft. It took a long time to get through that one. Many a sad one. I said I was going to. I finally did it. And then I did it with the next one. And now I'm working on the 3rd one. Finally, kind of getting there. I'll get it done by the end of the year. I moved it to Yule because this doesn't feel like the new year to me. I understand it on like a logical sense, kinda, but it doesn't feel like the new year. This is like, we're still kind of winding down-ish. Like we still have 2 months of this quarter of the year, so it feels weird to be like, it's the new year. But it is an option. It's good to do like witchy New Year goals if you don't want to incorporate them into the general year. And also you can kind of do this as some prep time to test out your things that you want to try out for the new year. If you're like, I'm gonna get healthy next year, now is the time to figure out how you're gonna do that. You set that intention at Samhain so that by the time Yule kicks up, you've realized that maybe actually you can't exercise 3 times a day, and that you hate cardio, and that jogging makes you want to cry, you know, and that if you try to diet and you don't let yourself have one sweet treat at the end of the day, you will binge within a week on like so many calories and make up for the lost time. You know, this is the time to figure it out. If you want to do a New Year's resolution, try it, and then by the time the new year calendar year kicks up, then you're good to go. You've tested it, maybe it worked out perfectly, and you've already got a head run going at it before the new year comes up. So yeah, that's, you know, that's kind of the 3 main themes that I've noticed for Samhain. Of course, there's other ones that you could probably choose, but these I tend to find are the most common out of them all. I really haven't seen too many others outside of that, you know, because a lot of it kind of can get lumped into those 3 major categories. But yeah, so I would love to know what, oh, I guess there is the final harvest. I don't do that stuff because I'm not a farmer. So like, you know, I don't really do the whole like, well now it's the vegetable harvest, because like some of the vegetables have been coming out for a long time before this. But anyways, so that is going to be it for Witchtober. Thank you so much for coming along for this month. It's been awesome to have this time to record and just chit chat about a variety of random crap I've thought about for the past few months. I decided to do this in like June-ish is when I decided to do this, so I just started to like randomly just plop ideas into the month of October in my calendar, and then here we are, we're at the end of that, and I'm excited to do it next year as well. I know I'll come up with a lot of really random ideas, and like they change, that's why I never really announce what I'm going to talk about, because like I'll come up to actually recording it and I'm like, that's a really stupid idea, I don't have that much to say. It'll be like a 2-minute video. So I don't do those sometimes. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you have enjoyed Witchtober. It will be coming back next year. And in the meanwhile, let's go back to talking about some books. We'll be talking about that for November and like a smidge of December. And then it is the end of the year stuff. So I'll be talking about all of the books that I have read this year, doing my ranking videos of all of my, you know, my 1-star, 2-star, the 3s, that those are going to be separate videos. We've got the good, the bad, and the meh, and then my 4 stars and 5 stars, and yeah, lots of end of the year videos coming soon. So, and I think I'm also planning to potentially talk about the 13 days of Yule. So yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff coming up, so make sure that you are subscribed. And let's get back to talking about some books. Oh, and also like the usual ending, so like a huge thanks to my Patreon peeps. If you want to check it out, I got patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. We've been talking about books a little bit this month, and then my audiobooks are there, and I'm trying to get through STOW, and because this worked out so well of like bulk recording, a little part of me is like, I could just have November to just like bulk record that. And have it go up in December, and then I can just be done with this book. They are so hard to get through. I don't know what it is with the Temple series. They are so hard to just stick with it. And I've heard from other people too, it's really hard. And this one in particular brings up all the shadows. I need to get it done this year. I do not want to enter into the Saturn return year with that crap going on. So yeah, and then next month I'm planning to have the audiobooks done. I'm so tired of them looming over my head. I've just decided that when I release a book, it's just like, bleh, here you go, here's the audiobook, I'm done with it, it is yours. And so yeah, Patreon's gonna be busy in November because I'm done having these looming projects. So they're just getting all done in November. Like, bye-bye Path of the Witch that I still need to record, and bye-bye editing turning the wheel that's been sitting there for months. It'll be done. And then next year, it starts all over again with my next books. So anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about, I guess. A lot of rambling. If you want to support, Patreon. Anyways, till next time, thank you so much for coming along for Witchtober, and I will see you tomorrow for some book talk.